morning I want to talk about getting an inspection done on your house. This video is for buyers to have a better understanding of what getting an inspection done looks like and how the process is going to work. Once you have put an offer on a house that you really like, that you're interested in, and it's been accepted, the process is going to start to get you to closing. So a lot of things need to happen. One of those things, it's not required, but highly recommended, is getting an inspection done on this piece of property that you want. The inspection is done during the due diligence process. This is the time period that you have as the buyer to find out every single possible thing you can about the house in order to make sure that this is the house that you want. Why get an inspection done on a house? Because you want to know everything you possibly can that could potentially be wrong with this piece of property. You want to know exactly what you're getting when you go into this very large purchase you're about to make. And you don't want any massive surprises. When looking into different inspection properties, what am I even saying?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Target!
Companies. When looking into different inspection companies, I would highly recommend getting a referral from your realtor. They will have worked with other inspection companies in the past and hopefully recommend someone to you that they really like, that is affordable, and will do a great job. Before getting your inspection done, you should hopefully receive the seller's disclosures from your seller. These are the forms that the seller will fill out indicating every single possible thing that they know that's wrong with the house or has been wrong with it or work done on it in the past. Knowing these things, what is that sound? Knowing these things, if there's something that's pretty alarming to you or something that you want to look further into, these are things to tell your inspector before the inspection is done so that they can make sure that they specifically take a look at whatever that issue may have been. Okay. Most of the time, this is how an inspection will go. You'll negotiate with the seller a good time for the inspector to show up. They will show up, they will go through, do the inspection. This could take an hour or two, depending on the inspector. And then usually they'll have you, the buyer, show up at the very end of the inspection after they have gone through the whole house, and they will do a walkthrough of the house with you and point out all these things that they have taken note of in their inspection report. This is a good time to ask questions and get a greater feel for the seriousness of some of these issues. So questions that you may want to ask them are, how big of a problem is this? Is this normal? Is this an issue that most houses experience? And then, do you need an expert to come take a look at this problem? Is it something that you should get fixed? It's good to assume, just assume this. Don't try to get around this, but just assume that there's going to be issues with the house. Houses have problems. It's okay, it's normal, it's life. Things are going to happen. When your inspector shows you pages and pages of notes that they've taken on potential things that could be fixed with the house, that's okay. That's to be expected. So don't be alarmed when you see tons and tons of notes that they've taken on things that you need to fix. Some of them don't necessarily need to be fixed. Some of them are up to you. And then some of them are potentially things you can negotiate with the seller before closing so that they can help maybe fix up things that should have been fixed before the house was put on the market. Oftentimes, your realtor is a good resource to use for which problems are vital enough to negotiate with the seller. You can negotiate with the seller to have them fix it before closing, or oftentimes you can just negotiate with them to give you a credit at closing that you can use towards repairs on the house. Okay, when negotiating with the seller, this is the time to be as reasonable as you possibly can. You don't want to come up with this huge long list of minor fixes that the seller needs to fix before closing. That's unreasonable. Focus on the significant problems and talk through it with them. Hopefully they'll be just as reasonable as you're being, and you guys can come to some sort of agreement on how that's going to be taken care of. One last little disclosure item. Everything in the inspection report is not gospel. The inspector is a human being. There is a likelihood that they will make mistakes or they will miss something. One time we had an inspector go through a house and he didn't realize that many of the windows in the house didn't even open. Not quite sure how he missed this, but it happens. And that's where you as the buyer can come in and hopefully fill in those gaps if need be. There's a man outside my window. I think he's gone. Part of your due diligence process is going through the house and noticing things that may be an issue for you on top of the inspection. With the care that you're putting into checking out the house on top of the inspectors, you should be good to go, and hopefully you won't have too many issues. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you feel prepared for having an inspection done, and good luck with the buying process. Bye-bye. See you later.